Hi guys, Ariel with Ariel Paints. I did a bunch of mermaid designs on a Sally Ann Lynch board on my Instagram the other day, a couple weeks ago actually, and got a lot of requests to do designs from them. So I chose this one to start. If you'd like to see the other ones, feel free to ask me to do those as well, and I'm happy to do them. This design uses this really cool cake called Blue Wren? Yeah, Blue Wren. I couldn't see the name. And it's from a collection, and I really like it. I've used it for feathers a few times, but beyond that, haven't really used it for anything else, so wanted to find a reason to utilize it. And I think it makes a really cool, kind of classy mermaid crown. So I was really happy to find another reason to use this cake. I also used my tap stencil number 59 for the small scales and some glitter from Crinoline, some turquoise glitter as well to make those pop. So that's what I used in this video. Like I said, I did a bunch of designs on a board on my Sally Ann Lynch board, which I like to practice on a lot, and I like it because it has multiple faces on it, and had a lot of requests to do a video. So if you saw that, then you probably recognize this one. If not, you can go back and take a look at all of the mermaid designs that I did and see if you can point this one out. And also, if you'd like to see any others, feel free to ask me. I do have a few other mermaid tutorials already on this channel, but my name is Ariel, so can't really have enough, right? And there's just so many different adaptations you can do. This is a pretty easy one. I did use a 1-inch brush with my split on myself, and it was a little large, so I would probably do a 3/4 on kids' faces, even though my face is quite a bit larger than a young child's and I have a decent sized forehead, thanks. I still might go with a 3/4 so that it's a little less overwhelming and easier to control, but this worked out. So if you'd like to see how I got this design, then stay tuned and I will show you how to do it. So my 1-inch angled brush is all loaded up, and I'm going to start with the first shape, which is kind of like a peaked scallop. So you can break this into 2 parts and sweep up to a peak and then pull it down. And then for the center, you're going to make one round loop or scallop shape. And then from that center piece, you're going to pull smaller teardrops or scallops from that center piece. So 2 on either side, and that's going to create the center of our crown. And I am trying to mimic a seashell shape here, but it doesn't have to be perfect because with all the detail we're going to add, some of this is going to get covered up. This is a really beautiful cake. I really, really like it. It is Nat's Gold collection, which I don't think I mentioned in the beginning. So from that center shape, we are going to pull U shapes down and then make sure the toe of your brush ends in a sharp peak. So sweep down up into a peak and repeat. And I'm just going to clean up the little kind of scallopy circles on the edge here that got a little messy. So now I'm going to pull that down around my eye just a little bit, and then I'm going to do a second layer of them as well. And not only does this give it a nice crown look, like a royal crown shape, it also really reminds me of drawings and paintings I've seen of mermaids where they have kind of that pokey scale, fin-like appearance coming from their faces or sides of their bodies. So now I'm going to give myself some eyeliner and eyeshadow, and make sure you just pull the toe of your brush up so that the navy gives a nice kind of cat eye, and then with the heel of your brush, fill in with the gold. Then I decided to sweep this down onto my cheek in a peak a little bit as well. I've gone ahead and loaded up a dauber with some sticky white paint, and I love using these small daubers with any stencils, but specifically stencils with smaller areas like this mermaid stencil. And then I'm going to just tap some beautiful turquoise glitter right over that. And the white paint with the turquoise glitter makes the turquoise really stand out. I think it's quite brilliant. So I'm going to do the same on the side of my cheeks, but you'll notice for the sides, I try to keep the shape even as I'm going over that stencil, almost in a triangle that is larger at the sides of my face and then gets a little bit thinner as I go in, just to keep the shape nice and balanced. And then I put a little bit on the bridge of my nose too. Now for the shell, you can certainly use a stencil like this one, which I have and I never ever use. So I thought I should use this, but you're gonna watch my epic fail here. I decided not to edit it out so that you guys can see it. Couple things are happening here. One, I did not have enough white on my little dauber, so it's like completely gone. So don't do that. Also, going over darker colors like this, it probably wouldn't have been as bright as I would have liked it anyways. So I recommend using StarBlends or doing what I'm doing now, which is drawing in a shell using a filbert brush, which is my favorite brush in the world. And most likely this is what I'm going to do at an event anyways. I am not going to take the time to find my stencil. I'm just going to do a shell just the way I showed you, because to me it's even easier than loading a sponge and doing it. So I've just started with a couple curls going up my crown and just framing that shell that I created, adding some dots and then some teardrops cascading down that first curl. And now I'm just adding some dots strategically on the peaks of my crown. I'm trying to make all of these dots very, kind of big and white, very crisp, so that it has a feel of pearls to them and not just tiny little dots that are disappearing. I want them to be substantial. So I've added some swirls to the outside corner of my eyes, and then I'm just going to pull teardrops from those, kind of use those first swirls you do as a guide. And then I'm going to pull those down around my face. You can see my white got a little translucent, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to go over it. And I will be very honest, at an event, if my white gets kind of translucent or weird and it still looks good, I do not go over it. If I've got 100 kids in my line, they are perfectly fine with it. They are not going to critique it, so I do not worry about it. When it's myself and I have plenty of time, I tend to be a little bit more picky, and I'm obviously filming this for you guys, so I try to make them a little bit more perfect. But if you've seen my video where I'm painting on the job, you will see that I am not that perfect when I'm on the job. It is more like survival of the fittest, and I do the absolute best that I can, but I do it as quickly as I can. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. It's 2 separate videos on this channel. Okay, so back to this video. I'm just adding dots strategically, looking where there's holes, where I should kind of fill some things in. Again, trying to keep my dots pretty large, nice, round, clear white so that it has that feel of pearls. And if you have time at an event, or if you're at a birthday party doing this and you have some extra time, outlining. This is a great design to outline that shell and really give it some definition so that it doesn't look like just a white blob at the center of the forehead. And then I'm also going to outline and go around my swirls and teardrops. As always, when I do outlining on designs, I don't outline every inch of the design. I'm very strategic about it. I just outline certain areas that I really, really want to stand out or that I want highlighted. So this is my mermaid crown using Nat's Gold Blue Wren. I hope you guys like it. As always, like and subscribe. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook if you try it. And thank you so much for watching.